What's good today, people? It's your boy, Coach Ace, coming at you with another episode of In the Classroom, a psychoschematics production. So, today we're going to get back to talking about offensive side of the ball. So, for today's episode, I'm going to teach you about play action, zone scheme blocking, bootleg pass. Let's get it. Now, play action bootleg, it's very interesting play design, but essentially you fake the ball to the running back, and then the quarterback loops around in the opposite direction that the zone scheme blocking is going, and then attempts to execute a pass while on the run. This scheme is primarily built for athletic quarterbacks. But you see some coaches try to force it on players that aren't exactly built for it. Now, I love the scheme because, I'm all about giving athletic quarterbacks a chance. But at the same time, use schematics that are built for the players that you have. But nonetheless, I think it's a pretty good scheme. I think it plays well if you understand your player's skill set, and if it works for them, it's an excellent scheme. So, let's get started. So, I'll start off with drawing out the offensive line, of course. Now, the formation I'll use, I'd say single back, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Okay, got your starting receiver, your slot receiver, the other starting receiver on the right side, got the quarterback under center. You have a running back in the backfield. You have 1 tight end towards the right side of the line of scrimmage. Now, for the concept of play action bootleg, I'll start by showing you the zone scheme blocking for the offensive line. I'll draw that out first. Now remember, the difference between man scheme blocking and zone scheme blocking, do you remember? Man scheme, the offensive line is essentially blocking whoever's in front of them or whoever's in the next gap. With zone scheme blocking, they're flowing in a specific direction. Now for this play, I'll make it so that the offensive line zone scheme blocking is flowing towards the left side. So they're flowing towards the left while they're still blocking. Okay, then the quarterback executes a play action. It's a play action handoff look to the running back. Obviously, since it's play action, the quarterback will keep the ball, and the quarterback will run towards the right side. Now the running back, since this play is not an RPO, the running back will eventually block for the quarterback, just in the opposite direction. Now, this block is nearly irrelevant, strictly because it's the running back is their momentum, their forward progress, their forward movement is going in the direction the quarterback isn't. So essentially the running back's block is almost irrelevant in this play because it's all about deception. It's all about deceiving the defense. Now, let's talk about the play art for the wide receivers and the players running the passing routes in this play. Now, with play action bootleg, you tend to see routes that are pretending to go in one direction and then eventually shift towards the same direction the running back is as the quarterback is running. So for this play, I'll have it so that the starting wide receiver to the left runs a deep post going towards the right center of the field. That'll mainly be so that it keeps the safety deep if they have deep safeties in this play. The slot wide receiver will run an intermediate drag route. Well, since it's intermediate, they call it, a crossing route. Intermediate drag routes are essentially crossing routes. And then the tight end will pretend to block and then leak out into essentially a flat route. That'll be the quarterback's hot route in this play. And then the right side starting receiver will start with a slant and then cut out into a corner. So I call it a slick corner route. Now I'll start to draw it out. Left side starting receiver runs deep post. Slot receiver runs intermediate crossing pattern. The tight end pretends to block or blocks for 1 second and then leaks out to the flat route. And then the starting wide receiver on the right side starts with a slant and then cuts up to the right corner for a slick corner. So essentially, with this play, you're setting up the defense with zone scheme runs. That's how you trick the defense into taking the bait for this play. Zone scheme runs towards the left side, run them about 5 times, maybe in like the first half or so, and then you eventually pull out this play maybe 2 times within that same game, and it'll trick the defense because you get them comfortable with running the zone scheme run, and then eventually it lulls them to sleep. And then bam, you attack them, the play action bootleg, and if it's run correctly, you can get the defense on a big play, especially if you're going against aggressive players that like to attack. Now, remember, starting left side wide receiver, it's not as important within this play because it's essentially just keeping a safety. It's keeping a possible safety if they're doing deep tight coverage from leaking out into the flat or into the other routes within the play. However, the slot corner, the tight end, and the right side wide receiver, their routes are mainly in play with this play. I'd say the most important route typically with these plays is the hot route, which is interesting because although this play, honestly, if you run it right, you get a massive play, a massive gain. But ultimately, this play, typically what the quarterbacks do is they tend to go with the hot route typically with these play action bootleg plays. So, essentially, man, so there you have it. Solid play. If you like to run the ball and use play action and attack with zone scheme blocking, man scheme blocking, gap blocking, just mix up how you run the ball and then hit them with these type plays and an athletic quarterback, your offense may be fire. Because I'll tell you one thing, I know I like the scheme. So, there you have it. Psychoschematics Productions. Got more episodes for y'all. Boom.